everyone, welcome back to SK Shadow. Welcome back to a new series, actually. Welcome your faces to the rebuild series, where I'm going to rebuild a club in a couple of seasons and then do another save where I rebuild another club in a couple of seasons, and then I move on to another club, rebuild them in a few seasons, and then move on to another club, rebuild them in a few seasons, and so on and so on and so on until I die. Anyways, the first team, me being, as you can see, an avid Chelsea fan, I thought I'd pick Chelsea. Considering it is a low point this season, we are struggling, let's say that. Graham Potter, well, I think we need Harry Potter, and I'm going to be that Harry Potter. I'm going to play a lovely game of Quidditch today. What do I think the problems are with this club? A, not giving management the time it needs. Getting rid of Thomas Tuchel, for one. What did he do wrong? I don't know. I get it's a statement from the board to say, look, this is how we want things to be done. Stick with English people for an English club. I get that-ish. But why? Thomas Tuchel had done nothing wrong. He won the Champions League in a half a season. Come on, give the man a break. And then obviously Graham Potter comes in, had a good start. We started in his first game was actually the Champions League, and I think he drew, and then from there we had a couple of Premier League wins, and then from there it just went. And then the last problem is the excessive amount of spending on crap. Right, I don't think that's only Graham Potter. I just think it's the club in general. Aubameyang, what we doing there? That's for one. Fofana, I rate. For the money, that's still mad. It's just there's a lot of players that just don't turn out great at Chelsea. Good players just turn into average players. And collectively, the players don't necessarily do very well on their own, but as a whole, the team tends to perform, but not in the most exciting way. So it's always like, yes, we won the Champions League, but how we got there, and then the actual final itself, it was pretty drab to watch. It was probably one of the worst finals. I think even I can admit that as a Chelsea fan. It was pretty boring to watch. Yes, Kai Havertz scored that, but overall, has Kai Havertz been a huge impact for the money to our team? Probably not. He's probably the best out of a bad bunch of signings. Timo Werner comes to mind being just dreadful. Hakim Ziyech comes to mind just not being great either. Pulisic. The LeBron James of football, I don't see it. And by far, I think the three best players we've got so far, or at the moment, is Thiago Silva, Kante, Mount on his day, and I actually really like Kovacic. Other than that, I think it's just like, what are we doing? Oh, and Mendy. I think Mendy was a brilliant bit of business as well. But other than that, we spend a lot, like 100 million on a Ukrainian, just because we didn't want Arsenal to sign him. All right, he played 10 minutes and looked absolutely unreal for that 10 minutes against Liverpool. And time will tell how good he's going to be. But that just sums up the problems. It's just a lot of money going into nothing. Where financial fair play is, I don't know. But yeah, I think for this save, I think I'll probably start by keeping what we've got, selling off all the deadwood, selling what is just costing the club far too much for their importance to the team. And then from there, actually having good tactical direction and a manager that's going to stick around for a while. Obviously, I don't know if this game will count the fact that the board like to splash the cash and like to get rid of their managers a lot. So that seems to be the Chelsea way, is to get rid of the managers after 2 seasons as soon as they don't do well. Whereas Arsenal, seemingly it's worked out very well by putting all their faith into Arteta for like the last 4 years. Whether or not they do it as a one-off, who knows? Or are they just a good club now? Again, who knows? But here we are. This is the team. So obviously I've gone through pre-season. I have got to the start of the season. Our first game is, funnily enough, against Arsenal, which is great. I've created some basic tactics for now, keeping it simple. I've got two to choose from, so I've got 4-2-3-1. That's the team. Obviously, we know the Chelsea lineup. It's pretty standard. Then I've got a 4-3-3 DM wide as well. So, in terms of the team, it's mainly going to line up like that. Actually, no, it's not. Where's the selection advice? Thank you. It's mainly going to look somewhat like that. I doubt you're going to have Aspilicueta there. It'll probably be Cucurella if he's not injured. So on. There's a lot going on. Obviously, we do know the team fairly well. I'll switch between the two tactics depending on what players and what need to play and so on. Both tactics should work efficiently because tiki-taka is just it, and then it's just swapping the formations around. In terms of who I would like to sign myself, maybe I will sign Mydruk, the Ukrainian dude, just to keep it how Chelsea have done IRL, just to keep their realism. So in January I might try and sign him. If not the end of the world. Other than that, I feel like the only place they really lack is striker. Havertz is very good at playing striker, don't get me wrong, but he's an attacking midfielder or false nine or something. I don't know. It's an interesting one. He's good there, so I might just live with that because obviously the depth in that spot is Borja. And then Aubameyang. Aubameyang is probably part of the problem in terms of he actually doesn't want to be at Chelsea no more IRL. So I might see if I can revive him or just sell him on because I'm probably going to guess he is on a very high wage for his importance to the team. His money is 170k. I feel like we could put that in someone far younger and far more powerful, not to sound like Emperor Palpatine. So yeah, I mean, fringe player, that should tell you a lot. So yeah, if he plays well for the first season, cool, but he's probably going to go. Ziyech will probably go. Just a couple of names. I'm not going to deliberately out them, but if I get offers for them, then cool. And then there's a few. So obviously Borgia's going to stay. I don't doubt that. Then there's just a lot. And then obviously Chilwell's always injured. And then there's a couple of other names here and there. The other problem is we have so many players out on loan. It is unreal. I mean, you wait till all these players come back. You got Baba Rahman. He's going to come back. He's going to need to be sold. Romelu Lukaku. He's going to want to stay at Inter. He's going to come back. I might see if I can get him into the striker role. It might fix that issue. Otherwise, sell. Then you got Loftus-Cheek, who's probably going to need to be sold. You got Baxter, who I don't really know who that is. A young goalkeeper. Probably sell. Jamie Cumming. He's never really got into the team. He was young prospect. Needs to go. Hudson-Odoi. Again, it's good young talent. We're just seriously wasting him. I would probably be inclined to use him over... Where is he gone? Hudson-Odoi. I'd probably be inclined to use Hudson-Odoi over Pulisic, I think, just because I can bank a lot of money on Pulisic. He's worth 63 million. Hudson-Odoi, on the other hand, you got a bit of that English tax, but I'd probably prefer to use the English homegrown talent anyways. Then you got Dujon Sterling, probably needs to go. Then you got Anjorin. He's a very good young player out on loan. I would probably be inclined to keep someone like that as well, providing he lives up to his potential, that is. Then you got Ethan Ampadu. Again, someone else who's probably got to go. He doesn't really live up to the potential. Never has done. I mean, he's still young, which is fine. I'll see how he is when he comes back off of his little loan. Otherwise, again, it's a good 20 million in the bank. Saar, I probably will keep, to be fair. Actually, I don't know. We'll see how that goes. They brought him in and loaned him out instantly. He's 23. He's got like 2.5-star potential. So again, I don't know why they bought him, just to loan him out and that be that, especially at his age as well. And then Bakayoko has got to go. What a tragic signing that was. So good for Monaco in that season, and then dropped off completely. And then the last loan is Harvey Vale, who is apparently worth 15 million. Not heard of the guy. Maybe sell. I don't know him. He's only got upwards of 3-star potential. And if he's worth 15 million at 18, then see you later, I guess. Might turn out good, might not. Who knows? But yeah, we got so many key players out on loan. It is unreal. I don't understand how, like, this club has got this many key players and they're all just out on loan and just somehow have not worked out for the club. Crazy. So it will be like the next season, pretty much, which is going to be when the rebuild commences. We could rack up a lot of money. In terms of the money we got right now, there's not a lot. Actually in the red, which is hardly surprising. So I need to stop the spending for a while, bring the club's value back up by not spending. Yeah, that is pretty much the rundown. There's a lot of problems going on. And then if we do happen to bring anyone in for this little 15 million, we have roughly £230,000 a week to play with, which is cool. And I did see an email somewhere where my board... I like to leave my board doing signings at the same time, just because they sometimes come up with like a player that you think, actually, you know what, that's quite a good deal. They've actually come up with Vazquez, 31 years old. I know I said I wouldn't sign old men as such, but for 10 million and good cover at right back, it's not a bad shout just for like a season or two, especially if we're planning on selling so much. Because say he comes in, I believe it's the only spot I really feel like we don't have a lot in. We got our young talent, and he's probably going to spend most of it injured, no doubt. And then you got Azpilicueta. I think he would do really good as a squad option to be in there. So I might actually let that go through. And yeah, we'll see what happens there. All right, not quite made it over to the game for Arsenal, but Vazquez has accepted. I'm going to do the contract, see what money he wants. He's got other clubs interested: United, Juventus, and Tottenham. I'm just going to see what sort of money I can offer. The other thing to mention for this series, it's probably just going to be a weekend series. So, like, I was planning on just uploading it on Sundays, depending on how many I end up recording and how much I enjoy this save. So it will either be Saturday and Sunday, or just the Sunday, depending on how many I've got backed up. And then the other series just whenever it goes up in the week. But yeah, you'll at least get one of these a week. And it'll be like bigger jumps in between videos. So yeah, it'll be more worth watching it once a week in a way, because it'll be like, the next time you see me, it could literally be January. I don't know yet. There's a little bit of depth in there. Not a player we're going to be able to sell on for profit, mind, but that's not the idea of him. Profit's going to hopefully come in all those loans when they come back. Arsenal game. So I think I've got a good lineup for this game. I've gone with Cucurella, Thiago Fofana, James all in defence, Mendy in goal. Kovacic and Kante being like the defensive side midfielders. Kovacic less so than Kante. And then Aubameyang, Mount and Sterling, with Havertz playing up front. I haven't actually sorted all of their roles out properly. They all look to be how I would have them. Kante still looking good. Kovacic still looking good. Yeah, Cucurella. Reece James looking phenomenal. Yeah, we're all good. All right. It's definitely a team that is more than capable of beating Arsenal. I hope we do. Need to get off to a good start. That is their team. Looks pretty good. well, it looks pretty good for a Arsenal side. I mean, that is the Arsenal side that is just storming the league at the moment. There we go. And my highlights are going to be really slow to start with, aren't they? And on extended. Key highlights only. Thanking you. Right. Hopefully off to a good start. Obviously, Arsenal should treasure the fact that they start at the top because they're alphabetically the first. Or where they're alphabetically first in the league, I think. But Brentford, at the moment, stop the count. Let Brentford win it. They actually beat whoever they played. I thought I saw it. So they beat Fulham 3-0. Right, big corner in. That's it. Right, Mason Mount, what you got? Oh, big save there from Ramsdale. Reece James. And nothing happens there. Wow. Right, so FM being FM, this is probably going to just be a straight draw. That wouldn't surprise me. Right, Arsenal playing the very quick football here. Gabriel, big ball over to Smith Rowe. Pulls it back to Zinchenko, to Xhaka, back to Zinchenko, big ball in, I'm expecting. No, he's going to go in. We get that away. Oh my god, that was interesting from Aubameyang. Come on. Thiago Silva. Mendy, get it away for Fafana. Hopefully Fafana doesn't get straight up injured like he did IRL as well. I feel like our injury list doesn't do us many favours in real life as well, but still, with the depth we got, we should be far better than we have been. Right, happy to play it around the back. Raheem Sterling just loses the ball to Smith Rowe. Odegaard to Gabriel. I don't like this constant Arsenal. The ball to Gabriel Jesus, who just did the wrong shot there. He should not have tried dinking our keeper. Not the right option. So far, we are getting battered. But that is fine. Come on, go out there and impress. Right, 60 minutes in, seemingly nothing happening. Time to do some substitutes. One thing that is going to be nice is I get 5 substitutes, which I don't get in my other save, because obviously I'm still in the National Vanarama League. I'm going to take Kovacic off just because he's got the yellow card, and I'm going to bring on Jorginho. Fafana also on a yellow card, so I'm going to take you off for Azpilicueta. And then Havertz off for Broja. Do Broja. What's going on? Well, I didn't click that. Right, that's fine. So 3 substitutes all in the 60th minute. We get 2 left. That's it. Right, Ramsdale keeps hold of that from the cross. And then plays it straight to Ben White. Ooh, it's one thing you shouldn't do. Is play across your goalkeeper. Granit, Xhaka, Gabriel, Zinchenko. Right, bombing it down. Zinchenko and into Rosette. Lovely. No, that is fine. There's a lot of highlights in this game. Still 0-0 though. Going to be a well fought game this from both sides. Mason Mount to Raheem Sterling. Gives it a cross in. I was hoping Cucurella would get there, but no, he doesn't. Over to Saka. Trying to get the ball off him. Not happening. They are just playing it straight through us. They're actually just keeping hold of the ball very well. Very, very well indeed. And they're more than happy to play it right back to the goalkeeper and start over every time. Which is very painful. Into Odegaard, who shouldn't miss this. And doesn't. Great. Fantastic. I'm going to have to drop the old college encouragement to the players, I think. Okay. Fully expecting it to take maybe like 2 or 3 games just to get the team going, get that familiarity up with the tactic. I mean, both my tactics are going to be fairly similar. It's just a slightly different formation. All right, Reece James. Kante to Mount, over the top to Broja. Tries to take the shot. Doesn't get anything from that. Who else do I take off? Who have I got on the bench? Oh my god, that was close. Right, we're not doing anything great up front, so I think I'm going to take Bamming off of Pulisic, Sterling off the Ziyech, just because neither of them are doing anything. Nothing useful at all. And we're going to lose 1-0, aren't we? Brilliant. Not the best start in the world. But considering Arsenal winning the league, since Arsenal are pretty good at the moment, I'm not expecting them to win the league just yet. But, yeah. Considering they're good at the moment, it's not so bad, I think, a 1-0 loss. As long as we beat Brighton, I'll be more than happy. Right, here we are for the Brighton game, second and final game of the episode. News just in, Chelsea are ready to initiate 130 million for Enzo Fernandez, which will take us spending well over £500 million already. Like, what is Todd Bowley doing? I have no idea. Anyways, forget about that for a minute. This will be our team. I'm going to make one change, and that's going to be Koulibaly. I think I want to play Koulibaly and Thiago Silva. I want to try that partnership out. Team is almost the same, other than Pulisic is in for Aubameyang. That's the main change, and obviously Koulibaly at the back. So let's rock and roll. Keeping the same tactic, I decided that as well. But there you go. We should probably beat Brighton. I would hope so. Here we go. There you go. First highlight, 9 minutes in. Ball in. Doesn't go to any of our players, really. Thiago Silva plays it back. Kante into Kovacic, who should play that wide to Reece James. James is going to cross it. There we go. Havertz. And just over the bar. It's a goal kick. Wouldn't you know? Oh, well, that was straight in with a tackle there on that highlight. Right, Lamptey, the player that Chelsea probably should never have got rid of. I think he's a very, very good player. Lallana, that's an interesting one. And we get that away. Raheem Sterling, hopefully using that pace to full advantage. Doesn't get the ball over. And plays it back. Kante to Koulibaly. To Sterling, who dances around that player there. Jesus. Mount in. Havertz gets clattered. Please, that's got to be a penalty. If that's not a penalty, I want to know who's fixing the match. Checking VAR. Penalty awarded. There we have it. There we have it. Penalty is awarded, and a red card, was that? Mad. If that was a red card, then that is mad. Mount squeezes it home, bottom left. Call as you like. First goal of the season goes to Mount. I need to double check if that was a penalty. Not a penalty, a red card. It doesn't actually say. I need to change all those little widget things over. Cool, what a header. Sterling, and I think that is going to be called offside. That feels like an offside goal. That feels like an offside. No, we got the goal. All right, fair play. 2-0. Raheem Sterling with a really nice header, actually. Right, free kick. Reece James. Oh, I actually almost scored that. Well, Havertz is going to get it anyways. 3-0. Wow, we're running away with this now. I needed more of this. This is what I needed in the game just gone. More of that. Really nice effort there. Keeper just punches it straight into the line of sight of Havertz. Right. James again. Another free kick. Playing it nice. Koulibaly. Down to Kovacic. Kovacic over Havertz. And quite a tame shot. And Hugo... Is it Hugo Sanchez? Whatever, we'll deal with that. Alright, I'm just wasting time. I've been sitting there recording nearly an hour on this episode. Right, Kovacic, what have you got for me? Nothing so far. Right, Kovacic in. Pulisic plays it. Cucurella. Bit of a heavy touch. Keeps it. And poked home by Havertz. I think that's going to be offside. I'll be shocked if it's not. Disallowed, yeah. As expected. As expected. Alright. Well, come on. We'll make it to half-time at 3-0 up, which will be pretty ridiculous. Yeah. 3-0 up at half-time. We've had a lot of shots on target. Happy there. Right, Mount in with the corner. Headed away. Thiago Silva's going to pick that one up. And nothing from the highlight. Right, we're going to start doing some subs in a minute. And I think it's going to be Pulisic to come off for Aubameyang. Thiago Silva to come off for Azpilicueta. I'll leave that there for now. Don't really know who else I want to take off. Not at the second. We are absolutely flying at the minute. 75th minute. Alright, I think I'll take Havertz off, give Broja a game. And then I don't really know from there. Kante off for Zakaria? I just never trust Kante not to get injured. And then I think Ziyech just about came on there. Alright. 4-0. That is a pretty good win. That is a pretty good win. That is a great... I think it's a pretty good way to start the rebuild. Obviously, losing to Arsenal only 1-0, which is acceptable. And then obviously 4-0 over Brighton, which is good. That's it. There we go. Absolutely fantastic. Where do I come back? I don't know. I never do know. I will just play through and see what happens and then eventually come back. It's probably going to be a lot, like a really big gap in between all the episodes, considering how far and few these are going to be. Well, at least once a week, I guess. But yeah, it'll be a big chunk and then I'll come back, another big chunk, come back, so on and so on. But if you did enjoy the first episode of the rebuild, then like, subscribe, check all the links in the description for all that fantastic action. Leave us a comment, let us know what you would change at Chelsea. And other than that, I will see you in the next episode. Goodbye.